Coach, after reviewing everything after BYU, after taking time to digest and maybe watch some film, what did you like about your team's performance, and what areas would you like to see them perform a lot better going into these next two?
Well, I thought we fought hard. I thought our energy was good. I thought we were really good defensively in a lot of situations. We had a few breakdowns, and they make you pay when you do that. But I thought overall our defense was really, really solid. I thought our rebounding was good. It's one of the best rebounding efforts on both ends that we've had this year. 17 offensive rebounds. So those are things I thought we did really well. Things we got to do better. I think we had some opportunities in the paint to finish. We got to finish better around the basket. I thought we got to knock in our free throws a little more consistently. I thought those are two areas that we have to improve. And we have to connect a little better, offensively, like more assisted baskets. We only had 6 assists, and that's rare for us to have single digits in assists. So more connecting plays.
After getting some time to go over film of your next two opponents, Texas and Houston, what have you seen from those two teams?
Well, I only take it one game at a time, so all I've watched is Texas, and I'll never go, skip games. So just focused on Texas right now. They're a very good program. They're well coached. They play really, really fast. They have scoring. Abrams is one of the best guards that we'll have faced all season long. He's a dynamic guard, can really score the basketball.
From an offensive standpoint, you've always said defense travels, offense doesn't always do so, but what can you do to kind of get that going? Is that like an emphasis in practice, or guys maybe on their own time working on their shots? What will it take to kind of get the offense to step up a notch?
What's a combination? Our guys have to understand the importance of executing what we want to execute, searching out a great shot. Ball movement is very important. And then, actually, as you mentioned, put the work in. You put the work in, which our guys do. Our guys are gym rats. Then you need to reward yourself for, all the work that you've put in. And they will. It's just a function of them getting comfortable, new environment, new conference. I think as they start to settle in, I think we'll start to see them become more consistent out there with what they're capable of doing.
First 3 games into this conference schedule, as you were just talking about, what do you think this team has learned about this conference, its first 3 games?
Well, they learned that every single game is it's like an NCAA tournament game, and I've been in quite a few as a player and as a coach. Every single night, it's an amazing atmosphere. Every single night, the level of intensity of each one of the games is phenomenal, and our players are learning to adjust to that, and that's a good thing because it's not going to change. We have 15 more league games, and all 15 are going to be exact same as the last 3 have been. But I think that's a wonderful thing because I think it helps you to be at your best at all times because you know that you can't ever go out there and not be prepared and not be ready to compete.
We just talked to Shamari Allen, and he said one thing that he needs to maybe improve on or show a little bit more is his offensive ability. He did it last year at UMKC. Hasn't really been maybe the opportunities haven't been there, or maybe just didn't feel like he needed to. But he's a guy who can be more of an offensive weapon for you. Like, what more do you want to see from maybe a guy like Shamari from an offensive standpoint?
Well, I want Shamari to be Shamari. He's a terrific player, selfless player. I want him to keep those attributes. I like to see him just when he has his opportunities to take them. Sometimes he'll pass up opportunities that I think would be good looks for him, or he's taken in past years where he's played before, and just continue to do those things because we're recruiting him when he went in the portal, with those things in mind, and we know he's capable, and everybody believes in him. He's a terrific teammate. Like I said, he's selfless. And just, when you have your looks, you don't have to force anything or force plays. That's not who he is, and that's not who we want him to be. Just be ready for your opportunities, play within our system and take your looks.
What do you think this team has taken away from its first road game against Kansas State, and how do you think that will make them better against Texas?
Well, phenomenal environment. First road game we had since Miami, which was the second game of the season. So I thought we learned a lot about how it's going to be in Big 12 basketball when you go out on the road. And it's going to be terrific crowds. Atmospheres are going to be electric. And we need to make sure that we come with the right mindset. You can't go into a game, in this conference and lose your composure. You're going to be in situations where those teams are going to make runs. They're going to play well together. And we need to make sure we respond on our end of the court as well.
What do you think Darius Johnson is kind of learning about this early Big 12 experience? I know that the first game wasn't a good game for a lot of guys, including him, but he's really stepped up the last 2. How do you think he's adjusting and learning how to play against these Big 12 teams?
Well, definitely. He's definitely adjusting. I think he's getting more comfortable in his role here with us and the leadership responsibilities that he has with the group now that he's a junior as a PG. And the thing I think that he's learning is that, again, every night, every guard, every backcourt is a terrific one. And so again, for you, every night that you step on the floor, you know you're gonna get another guard or perimeter player that's an elite player, and you have to have the right mindset to be ready to compete against them.
After the tough loss to BYU with another big opponent coming up, like what's the vibe in the locker room and practice among the players been like?
Our energy and our efforts been great. I think our guys' attitudes have been good. Are we down? Of course, we took a loss in our last game, but we understand that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. What we have to do is we need to have a next play mentality, but going to the next play, taking the lessons that we learned, the good lessons that we learned from our last opponent, and the bad. And we need to get better as we go through this race together, and hopefully as we continue to improve, we become a much better basketball team.
Coach Rodney Terry had an excellent season last year as the interim coach. They won the Big 12 tournament, Elite Eight, I believe they advanced to, got the permanent head coaching job after the season. Are you familiar with him? Is that someone you've crossed paths with before?
Hi, I've crossed paths with Coach Terry. Man, not only is he a terrific coach, he's a great human being. I don't think you'll find a coach or person anywhere outside of us or anywhere that would say a negative thing about him. Really good man, a hard worker, and he's done a really good job with his team and his programs wherever he's been.
I remember prior to the start of the conference play, I saw someone was reporting that during practice you guys were pumping in crowd noise to try to get the team ready to play in those harsh opposing environments like you were talking about. Is that still being done, or?
We haven't done it recently. It's something that we've done to try to get our guys somewhat comfortable with what they're going to face, and we do it. We'll continue to do it periodically, but we haven't done it recently. But our guys, understood what I was trying to get. The point I was trying to make was that we're going to have to really be able to communicate through a lot of crowd noise, and that's going to make it more difficult. So if you don't speak loud, if your hand signals and things aren't on point, then you're going to have a lot of possessions where they may be empty because of lack of execution. So I think the point was made. We'll continue to make that point, drive that point home, more as the season progresses. But our guys, I think they understood what I want them to do.
You guys, obviously, you're leaving on Tuesday, and you're staying in Texas, am I right? To go to Houston after Texas. Is that, obviously, you guys decided that was the best move, just to kind of, unnecessary travel back and forth? What are the challenges, I guess, when you're on the road that long?
Well, the challenges when we're on the road that long is, for us also academically, school has started for us. So first and foremost, that's our primary concern is making sure our guys are getting a meaningful education and a meaningful degree. And to do that, we need to make sure when we're on the road that we stay locked in, that we still have study hall for our guys, and we stand up to make sure our guys are taking care of business in the classroom. And they do a great job of that. And our, of course, administration does an amazing job with that as well. And then the other thing for us to make sure that, with our idle time, that we understand, when you have two games of the magnitude that we have, that we're getting off our feet as much as we can, that we staying off our feet, getting rest, getting treatment when you're on the road as much as we can, because you're banging bodies. So those are things we want to do as academics. We'll make sure we're getting treatment for our guys. We'll make sure we're getting the proper rest.
Is Jalen, is he feeling better? Is that getting on the mend?
He's getting there. He's getting there. It's been, it's grueling, as you know. Every game, as we said, is so intense, so physical, and so you can wear your body down quickly. And I think some of our guys are learning that, not just Jalen, but a number of our guys are learning that. But that will be no excuse for us. For us, it's all about, getting our rest, making sure that we're trying to stay as healthy as we can, and preparing for our next opponent.
All good. Appreciate it. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. All right, Brian.